Back with you on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta, reminding you, head over to our YouTube page. Go to YouTube, go in the browser. Locked On Sports Atlanta is what you want to type in there. Find the page, subscribe, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. And, of course, as always, I want you to follow me on my personal Twitter page. It is at JMCH316. Well, the Braves start a series tonight against the New York Mets. And I'm going to tell you very clearly, they had a 9-game stretch. So they come back from the West Coast, right? Let's recap this real quick. Come back from the West Coast. You played 4 in San Diego. You played 3 in LA. Okay, you were 3-4 on that road trip against 2 of the better teams in all of baseball. Got it. Not that big of a deal. But then you came home to play, at the time, it was the Marlins, Cubs, and then on the road against Texas. When they came back home, this was Friday, April 22nd, for that first game against Miami. Miami was a below 500 team. The Cubs were a below 500 team, and the Rangers were one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. Okay? So I said at the time, hey, 9 games before you head up for a 4-game stretch in Gotham against the Mets, who have played pretty well. This is a chance to get healthy. You got to go 7-2. That's what I said, 7-2. Okay, maybe at worst you go 6-3, but 7-2. You have 3 bad baseball teams. The Braves go out and they lose 2 out of 3 to the Marlins. They win 2 out of 3 to the Cubs, and then lose 2 out of 3 to the Texas Rangers. 4-5 in that 9-game stretch. Again, I'm not saying that the division is over and the Braves aren't going to come back. But there has to be, at some point, a getting on point. Because now you go up to Gotham to take on the Mets, who have played really well. You ain't got to worry about Scherzer because he pitched last night and was magnificent, rolling right along. You know, maybe the best pitcher still in Major League Baseball. But you're 6 games behind already. 6 games. It's May 2nd today. You go into Gotham against the division leader on their home field for 4 games, 6 games down. Split. That's what I'm hoping for. Can the Braves find a split in this series? That's all I'm looking for at this point. But it has been disappointing, and we keep going to this theme. Well, they'll come around to him, you know, when Ronnie gets back. Okay, well, Ronnie's back, and they have all their hitters, and they have all their pitchers. You know, I said before the start of the season, one of the numbers to look at is the Braves are going to set their team record in striking out batters. Well, they're 3rd in the National League in strikeouts. They're also 4th in the league in walks, in Major League Baseball in walks. They've struck out a whole bunch of guys, but they give up way too many walks. Their ERA is not good. Their batting average is not good. Their on-base percentage is dreadful. Slugging's good because they hit a whole bunch of home runs. They're like 4th in Major League Baseball in home runs, but they hit a whole crap ton of solo home runs. It is getting frustrating. And look, they go and lose 3 out of 4 to the Mets, and you're in the first week of May. You got to start saying, wait a second, we got to start figuring some things out. And I know it's a long way to go in the Major League Baseball season. Braves are 10-13. We're only 23 games in. Blah, 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 blah. This is the defending World Series champions, for God's sakes. We're not talking about some bag of overachievers. We're not talking about some ham and eggers that we didn't have any expectations for. You're supposed to be the best of the best of the best of the best. You're supposed to be at the top, and you're 6 games behind. Because here's the reality. Maybe the Braves do start to figure some things out, and maybe some things start to turn around for the Atlanta Braves, and maybe they get on a winning streak. But look at the way the schedule is. You're at the Mets for 4. You come home to play 3 with Milwaukee, who is arguably, if not the best team in the National League, one of division-leading Milwaukee. You've got the Red Sox, and then you get San Diego at home, who beat you there. You get Milwaukee on the road, and now the Marlins all of a sudden are over 500. So the schedule's not very favorable right now. You know, you had a 9-game stretch where you played some slugs and didn't take advantage of it. Well, now it gets amped up because you're going to see a division leader 6 times in Milwaukee. You're going to see division leader 4 times in the Mets, and then mix in the Red Sox, and then mix in also, too, San Diego, who we know has got a good team. Schedule's not very favorable for the month of May. Doesn't get a whole lot easier. And by the way, as we head toward, Memorial Day and all that, it's the Marlins, it's the Philadelphia Phillies, and then back home with the Marlins. It's not an easy stretch. Now, again, I'm not panicked and not worried, but why is it not coming together? Why is it that the Braves can't string together wins against bad baseball teams? The Marlins are not a good baseball team. The Cubs are not a good baseball team. Texas sure as hell ain't a good baseball team. And now I'm thinking they're going to go up to Gotham and they're going to take 3 out of 4 from the Mets. They might. I mean, there's nothing that says that the Braves, if they get their act together, can't go on some kind of long winning streak. But we can't keep sitting here and saying, well, last year, what if the Mets are really good this year? Has anybody asked that question? What if the Mets are really good this year? What if getting Scherzer and eventually get DeGrom and all, what if they are really good? What happens if they run away and hide? What happens if you can't win the division? Are you better than the Padres or the Dodgers or the Giants or the Cardinals or the Brewers? Are you better than those teams? Are you better than Philadelphia? Can you be better than all those teams? Because this is, again, World Series or bust. There's nothing about anything other than being in the World Series again for this team. That's the expectation. You're the best team in Major League, the National League. Play and act like it. But that was a really, really disappointing 9-game stretch that the Braves had. And I'm not saying, if not now, when, or this or that, or whatever like that. But when does that switch get flipped? Ronnie's back. Okay. Stole a couple bases. He's going to be fine. Olsen's in a real funk right now. You hope that they get their act together at the top of the order and they get on base for everybody to drive everybody else in. Their pitchers have to reduce the amount of walks that they're giving. They're just walking the whole ballpark. Got to cut down on all of that. Too many hits given up and things like that. Defense has been an issue. You saw yesterday, Demerit, falls on a play and ball rolls to the wall. It's a bases clearing triple. Their defense had a lot to be desired. I mean, it's lacked a lot of desire so far, especially their outfield defense. And you hope Ronnie come back, fix that. But again, this idea that you just flip the switch magically and it all just gets better because we're the Braves. It says Braves across our shirt. Mine says arrive, raise hell, and leave. Theirs says Braves across their shirt, that it's magically going to get better. I'm hoping for a split in the series against the Mets. We'll see what happens as it starts tonight. Max Fried is on the mound, and hopefully he has a good start. All right, thanks again for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery your first listen every day. I want to remind you, make your second listen ATL Day Ones. My buddy Jarvis Davis and Tanitra Batiste speak to the heart of the city of Atlanta. Two friends just talking Hawks, Falcons, Braves, Georgia Bulldogs, all things that you could want locally here in Atlanta. Step into the conversation. Stay for a while. ATL Day Ones is part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Free and available on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Sports Atlanta. Put that in the browser. Subscribe, review, tell us what you think. And, of course, I always ask you to follow me on my Twitter page. It is at JMCH316. We want to thank you. Great weekend for us here with all of the NFL coverage. We appreciate you guys so much for being part of our growing community and our growing audience out there. So thank you so much. We will be back with you tomorrow on Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.